everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Grama Jeanie's Creations and I'm Grama Jeanie, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you how I make piping for a bag or any other kind of project that may require piping. First thing I got to do is adjust my camera. So the material or the supplies you're going to want to need is this Pellon Easy Steam 2. This is a 1/2 inch by 40-yard roll. You can get this at Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, or you can order it on Amazon. You want some piping cord. I'm using 9 32 inch. This is a 10-yard roll. It's the Simplicity brand piping cord. And I got this at Joann's. It's like $6 or $7, I think. You want your material. I am going to demonstrate on vinyl, and I'm also going to demonstrate on cotton. You want a good rotary cutter, and you want a quilting ruler, and an iron, and a press board. So the first thing I do is I line my fabric up, or my vinyl up, on this straight line. I want 1.5 inches wide, so I'm going to put this ruler on the 1.5 inch mark. I'm going to measure over 1 inch and then 1/2, and I'm going to cut all the way up. Now I do only need 27.5 inches for the bag that I'm going to be doing later, but I'm going to cut up the whole way, and I'll just cut the extra off when I'm doing my bag. Oh, and you'll also want a 1/4 inch double-sided tape. Okay, I'm going to need 2 pieces of this, but I'm only going to show you on one. So I'm going to move that up on the straight line. And I'm going to measure 1.5 inches. Oops. 1.5 inches. Now you can, oh, I got a little cattywampus there, my ruler. Just go over that, no problem. Yeah. You can buy your piping at Joann's. I believe they sell it. I think it's called a Wright's brand, W-R-G-H-T. Okay. So we'll put that off to the side, and we'll roll this up. Put that under there. Okay, don't need that anymore. So what I do is I measure my piping. Then I take my ruler and I'm going to draw down the center, just like when you make a strap. Then I'm going to take my double-sided tape and put it just on this side of the line, not over the line. Okay, peel that off. And I'm going to stick this on top of that, but I'm going to stick this really close to the line. Then I'm going to fold it over. And I'm going to clip it. And it should look like that. Now we're going to sew a 1/2 inch away from the edge. You don't want to sew right up to the piping because you don't want to make it really tight. And you don't want to sew over too far to the edge because then it'll make it too loose and your piping won't, your piping will move back and forth and it won't look right. So I found out that if I sew a 1/2 inch down away from this edge, it's perfect. It fits in there perfect. You want to use a zipper foot or a narrow foot or a piping foot. I don't really care for the piping foot. I have one, but I don't know, I just can't get it to work right, so I use my narrow foot. So I'm going to finish putting this together and then we'll go over to the machine and we will sew this piping. Okay, so now we got our piping cord all clipped together. I'm going to use a red color thread so you can see it. I hope you could see it. And like I said, I'm going to sew a 1/2 inch away from the, actually it's going to be 3/8 inch. It's halfway away from the edge. And I am going to back stitch. And I got my stitch up to 5.5 because it's good to have your piping stitches a little bit longer. That way, when you're moving it around corners on the bag, it will move, it will turn easy. I have found that. Okay. And we're just writing this edge of my narrow foot. I don't know how your narrow foot will be, but the edge of my narrow foot rides right up against that piping. So it makes the crease down the strip. That's another reason why I like using this instead of the piping foot. Maybe someday I'll sit down and figure out how to use that piping foot, but I haven't had any luck with it. sometimes I get on a roll and I'll just whip a bunch of this stuff up for future reference, and then you can just roll it up or hang it like that on a hook or something, so it's right there for you. And that is what it should look like. Okay, so you're gonna see how I sewed halfway down the strip, halfway between the edge and the actual piping. Can you see that? There. So that's for vinyl, and now we're gonna do some quilt cotton. Okay, so now some quilt cotton. So I ironed this, but now it's not ironed. It's been sitting folded up in a basket, so it's going to be kind of wrinkly. So you want to make sure that you iron and get it as flat as you can. This is just an example. I'm not going to use this. So you want to take your quilting ruler, and you want to find your 45-degree mark. Now mine is right here. So you're going to set that line, that straight line of the 45-degree mark, right at the edge of your fabric. And normally, okay, so we're going to cut down that way. Cut one strip down this way. Now, when you do use quilt cotton and you cut it on the diagonal, you will find out that the drawback of it is you waste material. But you need it to be cut on the 45-degree mark, because when it's cut on the 45-degree mark, it stretches like that, and that helps it to go around a curve when you're going around curves on bags, like gussets, bags that have gussets. If you just do it on the straight, it's not, you don't have any give. Okay, so you want that on the 45-degree mark on the edge of the fabric. And we're going to cut it. We're going to take this piece and we're going to put it off to the side. And then I usually do 2 inches to 2 1/4. Let's do 2 1/4. Let's do 2 1/4. And this is just an example, so it doesn't matter how long it is. I'm going to have to get, let's see. Two and a quarter. 2 1/4. So that's not right. I'm going to cut this little bit off right here so it's even. Okay, there we go. So 2 1/4. Okay. throw that over there. Put that back. So then you want to grab pressing mat or ironing board. You're going to turn it over this way. Grab your iron. Now, I like to use a small iron like this. It needs clean, sorry about that. Because this is small pieces. So I'm going to just flatten it out as much as I can right now. And this is where the Easy Steam 2 hem tape comes in. So I am going to just lay that down. Gotta get my scissors. And I'm gonna do a little bit at a time. Lay that on the edge. Like that. Let me turn this around so maybe you can see it better. So I got this laid out on the edge. I'm going to take my cord. I'm going to lay it really close to that. And then I'm going to iron this, fold it over, iron that. Ooh. And I'm pressing up against that cord. And it'll look like that. That way you don't have to worry about this sticks it together, because that Easy Steam 2 is sticky on both sides. So when you put an iron on it, it seals these, and then you don't have to make a seam down here before you attach it. And you just do that all the way down. I do a little bit at a time. I have found out that it's best if I do it like that. And sometimes I overlap them like that. Kind of keep your cording tucked up against that fold. And you just take the tip of your iron, press it. It's kind of hard to do it this way. Just press your iron, the edge of your iron up against that cord. And you got your cording. And if you think that this is too much, once you get this all done, you can trim maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch off if you need to. So we will put a little bit more on there. Just make sure you keep your tape to the edge. And fold that down. And then just iron it. Oops. I don't like that. My edge didn't get done right. And you just keep working all the way down. And you'll have nice cording. Like I said, you can trim this off when you get done if you think you're going to have too much hanging over there. But I usually cut mine at 2 1/4 inches. Maybe 2 inches would be best for cotton. That way you don't have to chop that edge off. So that's how I do my piping on the quilt cotton. And I do it like this on quilt cotton, cotton canvas, and any woven type of material. Okay? So that is the piping tutorial today. If you found any value in this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment down below. Liking and sharing helps the algorithm, and it helps me out. It helps me to grow my channel. And I hope you have a good day and you come back for more of my videos. Thanks. Have a good day.